Good afternoon, and welcome to the University Address. My name is Dan Boehner, and I'm the chair of the Administrative Professionals Committee, which represents over 900 staff. I'd like to thank the President and Provost for asking me to kick off this event. I have to start off by thanking you all GVSU faculty and staff for the work that they've put in to prepare us for this academic year. I'd like to acknowledge all of the campus representatives present, including leaders of the Faculty Senate, the AP Committee, professional support staff, public safety staff in command, and maintenance, grounds, and service. For those that have dedicated their careers to higher education, there are few times as exciting as the start of a fall semester. I encourage each one of you to take a quick lap around campus and absorb this energy. Soak in how truly awesome it is to be able to have your work go towards this community of learning. A peer of mine recently called it scholarly fire, and I really liked that. And we have a lot of new staff here in the last few years. Let's be sure to welcome them and make them part of our community. We're excited to see the growth in our student population this year, giving staff an even greater opportunity to have an impact. What we have here at Grand Valley is really special. Let's be sure to share that. With that in mind, I'd like to hand it over to the chair of the University Academic Senate, Dr. Felix Ngasa.
Thank you very much, Dan. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy New Year. That's it. Thank you very much. Yeah. President Mantella, Provost Milley, Chair of the Board of Trustees, members of the leadership team, fellow faculty and staff, families, friends, and sympathizers of Grand Valley State University. Welcome. I am Felix Ngasa, Professor of Chemistry and Chair of the University Academic Senate. It is indeed an honor and a privilege for me to address you today on behalf of our amazing, amazing faculty members. Please, I would like us to give a round of applause for all the faculty at Grand Valley and the staff, of course. In a moment, I will be introducing our provost to give her remarks. But before that, I want to take the advantage of this platform that I have to be able to share some thoughts on a topic of utmost relevance and significance in today's higher education landscape. I would like to speak to the importance of being true to our values in the face of the recent challenges on diversity, equity, and inclusion in our country. In this rapidly evolving world, with societies becoming more interconnected and diverse than ever before, the values we uphold as individuals and as Lakers are put to the test. But I know that as Lakers, it is during times of challenge that our commitment to these values becomes paramount. As clearly articulated in our strategic plan, Reach Higher 2025, diversity, equity, and inclusion are not just buzzwords. They are principles that lie at the heart of a just and progressive society. Thank you. The most recent months have presented us with challenges that demand our unwavering dedication to the values of DEI. Confronted with mostly external challenges, the strength of our commitment to DEI will be tested, and yes, it will be tested. However, what do we do, or what do we need to do, in my opinion? I think that individually and collectively, to be good citizens of our Laker nation, we have to be true to our values by actively embodying DEI in our actions, our decisions, and interactions through the following 5 of them. First, let's take the time to be able to educate ourselves about different cultures, perspectives, and experiences. 2, let's show empathy and be compassionate as we listen to others to understand where they're coming from and be able to appreciate their struggles and challenges. 3, speaking out against injustice, even when it may be uncomfortable or unpopular. 4, advocating for policies that promote equity and equality. And finally, fostering inclusive spaces on our campus where diversity is celebrated and every voice is heard. As faculty, staff, and administrators, all of us here involved in Grand Valley, we have a life-changing role and responsibility that our students trust in us. And I believe we take this responsibility very seriously. I really do. Collectively, we have a role to play in nurturing the transformation of our students. Our students and learners are counting on us. They are counting on us to help them grow and reach their potential. Like all universities, we are and will continue to face challenges due to changing demographics, changing public expectations, changing expectations from our learners, and changing market conditions. However, I trust, as it is engraved in our DNA as Lakers, that our best strategy to confront challenges is to work together as a team through collaboration and working towards a common goal. We need, and this I cannot overemphasize, we need bold and intentional leadership to confront some of the challenges that we face as a society. Therefore, as we welcome the new members of our Laker family, as we celebrate the beginning of the new academic year, and as we contemplate our challenges ahead, we should remember that we have the capacity to do amazing things when we work together and create an environment that everyone, and I mean everyone, feels a sense of belonging. Thank you. Now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our Provost and Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs, Provost Fatma Mili.
Thank you so much, Professor Nagasa, for your wisdom and for your continued leadership of the Faculty Senate. Thank you also for reminding us of the fact that equity is core to who we are and what we do. There is no true equity without education, and there is no true education without equity. President Mantella, Chair of the Board, colleagues, guests, greetings and welcome. Welcome to the new academic year 2023-2024. This is going to be another great year working together, delivering outstanding values to our students and communities and reaching higher together. I would like to start by taking a few minutes for a personal note of heartfelt gratitude to all of you. I just completed my first year, and I want to tell you how thankful I am for your generosity, your friendship, and your grace throughout this year. As I immersed myself in learning about GVSU, its foundational values, its traditions, its culture, and most of all, its people, not a single month went by without several of you reaching out through the unexpected email, the handwritten note, a reaction to something I said, wrote, or did, sharing something you were proud of, sharing your work, something about GVSU, about the community, inviting me to participate in your events and discover this great place and this great area. So I want to tell you how deeply touched I am by these gestures of acceptance and trust. You trusted me with your institution, the institution that you built, that you shaped. I want to tell you that this trust is treasured, that it is appreciated and received with the utmost sense of with the utmost sense of responsibility and highest level of gratitude. Now, I want to talk about something that I know is in everybody's mind. You know what it is? Growth. So at a time when the predominant headline in higher education is which university is struggling for survival, which university is closing which programs, which university is laying off faculty and staff, we here at GVSU are holding a completely different conversation. Here we're talking about how much can we grow, how much should we grow. So let us pause for a second and appreciate that. You can clap. Let us pause for a second and express our thanks to President Mantella for her steady and visionary leadership of GVSU that scored so many wins this year alone. To Vice President Truss and the whole enrollment development team for having accomplished what no other enrollment team has been able to accomplish in Michigan. To all of our colleagues in academic affairs for their flexibility and collaboration. They spent the summer redoing schedules, moving resources, finding instructors, and adjusting advising plans as the number of incoming students kept going up. Our colleagues in student affairs who similarly kept adapting and adjusting plans, purchasing furniture, and adding spaces to welcome more students on our beautiful campus. To the leaders and staff from every single division who worked hand in hand, driven by a single vision of a common mission of making GVSU the go-to destination for a quality, inclusive education. And yes. And to all of you, all of us, because getting the students here is only the beginning. It is now our collective work, our collective responsibility to be ready for them, to empower them, and to see them to the finish line. I greatly appreciate the fact that the questions I kept hearing from our faculty and staff have been thoughtful deliberations about how best to serve this incoming and returning group. So thank you all in advance for the monumental work ahead of us. And congratulations again. This state of affairs is the most affirming of testimonies of the quality of a GVSU education, the quality of GVSU faculty, the quality of the GVSU culture, and the return on investment of a GVSU education. This is also a reminder for all of us not to take our growth lightly and not to take our growth for granted. At a time when the demographics are changing, students' expectations are changing, Michigan's economy is changing, the climate, meteorological, political, and social is changing. Having a clear vision for the future, having an unshakable set of values, and having a built-in agility and adaptability are key. So I look forward to working with all of you as we see our 22,000 students through a successful year And as we engage in and deliberate in thoughtfully in choices and build our capacity to meet the needs of the current and future Lakers. Go Lakers! And now my pleasure to introduce our president, President Mandela.
What an incredibly beautiful sight to see you all out here on a beautiful Michigan summer day. Thank you for being with us. Let's give one more round of applause to Fatma, to Felix, to Dan for their inspiring words. Good afternoon. It's just great to be with you. It's great to stand here and welcome you to a new academic year. I'd also like to ask Sue Jandernoa, our chair, to stand up and be acknowledged. She has been, wait, hold on. I have a few words to say about Sue. Chair Jandernoa has been a partner in every way. She has been at the AGB level talking about good governance and good university leadership and how to partner. She's been at the state level talking to our elected officials, and she's been at moving down the street, moving in our freshmen. So thank you, Sue. Please stand and be acknowledged. How can I look by Tom and Marcia Haas as well, who are right here in the front row and have laid the foundation, been part of laying the foundation of this great university. My immediate predecessor, Tom Haas, and his wife, Marcia. Please stand and be acknowledged. And all those online, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today, as well as those of you in person. We enter the new academic year, as all three of the speakers have said, with just so much to be thankful for. The largest and most diverse first-year class in our history, new partners deep in collaboration with us, building programs together to meet our community's needs, a stronger state appropriation, and rave reviews from the Higher Learning Commission's accreditation team on our pursuit of our mission. We arrive daily to this meticulous physical and digital campus with an ambiance like today, with amazing hospitality and positive spirit. Can we give all those seen here and unseen just an incredible round of applause? So why, as the provost said, are we on a different trajectory? It's because of all of you. It's because of our brilliant and dedicated faculty and staff. Thank you all, truly, from the bottom of my heart, for making it happen, not just when you get to stand at a podium, but literally every day. I really am sitting in this moment of gratitude, and I hope you join me in that. We have gifts that we need to acknowledge that has brought us here, when the last few years have brought absolutely seismic shifts and monumental changes. Shifts in the way we work, shifts in the way we learn, shifts in the way we access information, and virtually every aspect of our lives. This summer has been dominated by the call for higher education to adjust, to meet those challenges, and to skillfully anticipate tomorrow's needs. We continue to see both positive and negative framing of education, considering unprecedented shifts around digital transformation, education as woke indoctrination, and places of devouring money as the headline coined in last week's Wall Street Journal. These debates and dialogues are dominated by example from the Ivies and public flagship universities. I have to tell you, this got me thinking this weekend. How did some public institutions get termed flagships? Why are they the focus of discussion surrounding critical issues regarding public higher education? Now, don't get me wrong. Public flagships are critical components of our constellation of educational assets in our country, and I have the utmost respect for them. However, when it comes to the broad role of education, the fact is they serve 10% of our population, and they failed to make meaningful increases in opportunities for students of color, adult learners, and others being left behind in our educational institutions for the last 20 years. These communities are critical to our country's future. So, in my 4 a.m. curiosity journey regarding flagships, Tom, you'll be happy, I went first to the military reference and learned, I quote, the term flagship comes from the naval tradition where the flagship vessel is the lead ship in a fleet. It is usually the largest and most well-known. Okay. Then I went to an academic reference. I'll paraphrase it because it was long. What a surprise, right? A flagship tends to be the most known university. In general, it's the first public university, commonly receives the most state support, and often focuses on strong doctoral programs and extensive research. Then I went to the dictionary. Flagship. The best and most important thing owned or produced by a particular organization. By example, they offered, have you ever seen the 24/7, 365 days a year Apple flagship store in New York City? It's a stunning 30-foot square glass cube, completely lit up with the Apple logo, housed at its entrance. It is the flagship of the Apple fleet. So stay with me on this journey of discovery, right? We're together. We're going through this. It's now 5 a.m. And I thought to myself, shouldn't it be fitting in a sea of change, the flagship is the guiding force that leads us through? Isn't it precisely what we require in the face of rapid and turbulent times? Is this the direction we need? We need a flagship for the future of education. A ship that charts the course into an uncharted future, guided by principles, stronger commitments to our learners, an empowered education, a lifetime of learning, an education rooted in the culture of educational equity. Built on the foundation of affordability, teaching excellence, and integration with the community. Never accepting the false dichotomy between liberal education and professional education, classroom learning and learning that happens everywhere. Understanding growth and position is shaped through inclusion, not exclusion. Understanding the immense value of centering the richness of diverse lives lived. Understanding the power of empowering our students to be the protagonists of their own educational stories. As we gather here today to mark the opening of the academic year of 2023, we are greeted by the familiar waves of hellos and goodbyes between parents and families. Yet in the midst of these waves, we remind ourselves that we're navigating through unprecedented challenges, facing strong headwinds and stormy waves in the realm of education. Let's take this moment to celebrate the undeniable truth that brilliance knows no boundaries and can be found in every corner of a diverse society. At GVSU, we fully grasp the vast potential that lies within each individual, and we acknowledge the pressing need to ensure these opportunities are readily and equitably available to all. With unwavering curiosity as our compass, we strive to nurture and cultivate an environment where ideas are cherished, shared, and amplified. Such an environment fosters innovation, not within confines of ivy walls, but within the hearts and minds of our community, united in our common purpose. Together, as a collective force, we embark on this common pursuit. Okay, as Lakers, what's more appropriate? We sail towards a future of excellence. It's not just a destination, but it's a way of life, reaching higher daily for the good of those we serve. I see and I celebrate each of you as lights along the journey. Realize through our work every day, we're not just providing the next chapter for GVSU. We are collectively writing a narrative for public higher education, what it should be, a narrative that prizes progress, collaboration, adaptability, a narrative that foregrounds inclusivity, diversity, and equity, a narrative inspired towards creating a better tomorrow for our university, the community, and the world around us. So let me leave you with this imagery. As Lakers, we proudly sail a flagship, the future of higher education, boldly embracing growth in an age of opportunity. Picture our vessel, navigating comfortably across vast and uncharted waters, driven by a deep care for the water that surrounds our journey. It symbolizes the interconnectedness of our efforts, individuals united in the work and entrusted to us to guide, as well as those who have entrusted their education and growth to us. As the winds of change blow and try to change our course, we as Lakers hold the line towards our destination. We enthusiastically gather new learnings and discoveries along the way. We build our capacity to serve and strengthen our focus on our mission. Together as Lakers, we possess the resilience, the adaptability needed to steer through calm waters and turbulent waters. We seize every opportunity for growth in an era teeming with endless possibilities, turning the vast expanse of opportunity into a purposeful and transformative journey. Like the skilled navigator guiding our fleet, Lakers steer towards promising new horizons while remaining anchored in their mission. Let the metaphor of a flagship for the future of education inspire and guide us throughout the year, a season of immense possibility. Let us embark on fall 2023, propelled by hope, eager to embrace challenges and triumphs that lie ahead. Welcome aboard, Lakers. Thank you very much.